Okay, so hey, what is up? You back for another video. This time I'm doing Venus in Partners 11th house Synastry. Oh my goodness. This is like the friend circle Synastry aspect to where you literally have a relationship or a coming together to where there's mutual friendship, there's mutual respect. Well, there has to be a mutual respect for each other here. If not, one or the other person is going to complain about it or not really like what the experience they're having with the other person. Okay, now this can also show up in Synastry to where there's this one person crushing on the other person, but the other person is only seeing them as a friend. There could be like a friends only vibe, and you guys can have good conversation, hang out together, hang out in the same friend circles, but at the same time it could be like a situation that never really gets off the ground. Even if you do become like intimate with each other, it could be a situation that never really comes off the ground, because like I said, one person may be looking for more of like a romantic feel. Now, I'm not saying that you cannot have this. Like, if you have other Synastry aspects alongside of this, kudos. Like, that's really good because it can be beneficial. It can be helpful. The best part about this is that you two could possibly talk a lot, communicate about different topics, have a lot of the same interests, especially if you're hanging out with friends. Like, you guys can hang out, like literally hang out with the same people, meet each other in a friend circle or some type of acquaintance situation, and be around each other all the time, especially in noticing each other, or one person may notice the other person first, and things of that nature. But there's a friend vibe here. A friend, like, you guys, even if you are in a relationship and you take things to the next level, you two could literally hang out with each other all the time. And you know how in some relationships to where like couples, they don't have the same friends, they don't like being around each other's friends. Like, it could be more of a passion thing, we're passionate together, and like that's what we like about each other the most. But as far as interest, nah. As far as like beliefs, nah. But you two could literally hang out all the time and not really get tired of it. That's the thing. With this Synastry aspect, you gotta remember to kind of incorporate space with each other from time to time, which is, I know this is gonna happen anyways, because like it could be situations to where somebody's friends hangs around a little bit longer than they should, than the other person feels like they should, and friendships and things of that nature can put distance in between the couple as well, like other people. And then there's this aspect to where there is distance there, like there's some sort of detachment there. Yeah, so you guys can leave each other and come back, and there's a lot of space in between you, but it could be hard to build like this romantic thing, this romantic interest. And if you do have the romantic interest, it could be hard for some reason to kind of like the relationship or the situation could be kind of unpredictable, and one person or the other or both has to be okay with that, depending on what sign is here. Venus in Aquarius is one person is Venus and the other person is falling in this house. It could be a little bit more easier for each other to cope with, because the Venus person a lot of times is going to understand like that space. The 11th house is going to understand like Venus possibly having a distant emotional aspect to it, which is in this particular dimension we're finding ourselves in, dealing with heavy Aquarius energy. It's not going to be so uncommon to have relationships like this. Okay? Because it's kind of like where we're headed if you really think about it. Like, where two individual people, they come together and they can live their lives together, but at the same time, whenever there's situations or life that's saying, okay, well, we can't be together for whatever reason. I know people are not going to really like what I'm saying, but you know, you got to kind of take your feelings out of it. I have to do the same thing, trust me. And it's always hard. It's sometimes easier to say, but it's hard when you have this aspect or aspects like this with somebody else. You know, I get it. But the point that I'm trying to make is that people being able to kind of hold their own, well, yeah, they know how to become like a person, a complete person, and then come together with another person. Meaning, like, if you have to detach from a situation, or if there's some reason like the other person has to leave, you never know what happens, right? The other person doesn't completely just fall apart. You understand? Now, this is a lot about like what's happening with this type of synastry. You know, there could be distance here. There could be time apart. There could be unpredictable situations or circumstances sometimes that make it feel like, well, dang, like we can't be more than friends. But the attraction is there. And yes, if you do manage to get into a relationship, because that happens as well with this synastry, you guys are like friends. But there, you know, there's a downside to it, to where when one person starts wanting to control the friends that the other person has, or like jealousy starts to kick in, especially depending on if this friend group, who does it include, you know, the best bet here is to hang out with each other together. But at the same time, it's like, okay, well, you know who, but we being honest about what, who are we having friendships with, you know, like what does that look like, and then being able to give each other that space to be separate with hanging out with friends sometimes too, okay? And other romantic, now if you got like other romantic or passionate aspects here, boom, like this is the whole package, okay? It could be like a dream come true type relationship. Another thing, this particular couple can meet online, like online, or some type of affiliations, you know, and some type of social affiliation, you know, as well, because, you know, like a club or something like that, or at some type of venue, or something like marketplace, or something where there's money to be made, okay? But they're, you know, this couple could possibly be able to handle this relationship because they see value. You know, the Venus person feels like the 11th house person cherishes the relationship. You know, they cherish the friendship that they have with them, and it's the Venus person feels like they become valuable because it's a lot that, you know, the 11th house is able to take off the Venus person and forgive them, you know, and accept them for who they are. And the 11th person at the same time feels, you know, like the Venus person add some type of value to their life because of the experiences they have with the Venus person. It reunites the 11th house person with like something like there's like a spark, like, you know, with the reason of why they're here. You know, it's like all of a sudden, like, man, you know, like when all those fails, I do have Venus. Like the 11th house person feels like the Venus person, just spending time with the Venus person, it makes them feel important, you know. But there's a mutual respect between the two. But they can get nasty when one or the other feels like they're being disrespected as well. All right? Okay, this is Venus in the 11th house synastry. I'm Butterfly to Light. Subscribe to my channel. Also, I am doing synastry reads. I haven't been announcing that in every reading synastry video. I do synastry birth chart readings, okay? It's like comparing two charts. I've had quite a few people that's like contacted me for that, but just to put it out there, and you know, feel free to email me at butterflytolight11@gmail.com, because you know that I'm gonna be back, okay?